Hey guys, George MGR Performance here. I'm gonna show you what I'm building for my personal car. I'm building a 5.3 stock block LS, and I'm using aftermarket heads with a 208 intake valve and 158 exhaust valve. Typically, those heads won't fit on a 3.8 bore. So I did the same thing that GM used to do on the 396 big block Chevy. I notched the top of the cylinders. So, example, if you don't know what I'm saying, I'll show you. Example, as you can see here, bear with me because I'm using one hand to record and one hand to hold the gasket. So this is a 4-inch bore gasket. You can see the notching top of the cylinders. And you can see on the other side also. I already did the dry run. Let me just turn the block. Okay. Obviously this block has not been machined yet. I give you a better view this way. You can see it's been notched this way, it's been notched that way. This is gonna be a 5.3 stroker, 4-inch crank. It's gonna be 364 cubic inch with Pro Max small bore cylinder heads. I did some work on them. They flow like 340, 335, around there. It's gonna be around 10.5 to 1 compression. And we converted to 1/2-inch head studs. We'll put it on the CNC milling. And right now it's converted for 1/2-inch head studs. So it's gonna have a K1 crankshaft, 4340, K1 boosted version H-beam rods. They're thicker. And I'm using Summit LS Pro pistons with upgraded pins from Wiseco. Because the pistons for Summit, they're made by Wiseco. I didn't want to wait through my supplier because there was like a leeway of like 8 weeks to make them. So I just got a set of forged pistons from Summit, and I ordered the upgraded pins from Wiseco, and I have all the stuff over here. So as you can see, don't forget, it doesn't have a huge cam, it doesn't have huge duration. Everything is gonna work fine. Believe it or not, it's the exhaust that's the closest to the cylinder wall. That's why I cut down the exhaust valve from 1.6, I brought it down to 158, because the valve job that's done from Pro Max, it's not all the way to the end of the valve. So even a 158 is gonna touch in the proper place. So we're gonna deck this minimum, bore horn with torque plates, line horn with studs for the mains. It's got 1/2-inch head studs on the top. And I'll show you the cylinder heads. These are the cylinder heads. We're gonna reface them. I'm gonna redo the valve job. I just did a little chamber work and some work on the ball area. And I believe that's the valves for it. You see, this is the valves As you can see, they've been, I don't know if you can tell, they're trimmed down to 1/5/8. So, and the heads have been drilled for 1/2 inch as well. And I'm going to be using LS9 head gaskets. And one of my clients has a special wire cutter, so we're gonna open up the head gaskets. They can still fit, but it's tight, so we're just gonna open them a little bit to clear the 1/2 inch head studs. And that's pretty much it. And the big upgrade for next year, it's right here. This is a Gen 1. So it's gonna be 364 cubic inch, about 10.5 to 1 compression. We're gonna run C16 water torque cooler. And this is the new turbo that's going on there. Brand new, just came in. It's a 94-102 ball bearing from Precision. And it's freaking heavy. And we're gonna try to run, the car is gonna go around 460s at 2,800 pounds. I mean, if I could get to run consistently 460s without trying to rip the heads off the motor, I'll be happy. I'm not going there to set the world on fire. I would not be using a stock block if I was doing that. So the setup that I have in the car right now, it's iron block, stock crank, K1 rods, 4-inch pistons, 5 thou overbore. It's a 364 cubic inch as well, with an 88-84 from Precision. And I am gonna come out with this setup and run it for the beginning of the season. And once everything is ready, like midsummer, I'm gonna switch to that motor. I'll probably get it to run like 480s, 470s with that setup that's in the car. This can go 450s, but it's not the engine. The car has to work, you know what I mean? So a little update of the next motor that's going in. So it's kind of different. It's small bore with a bigger stroke. And I mean, that thing is making 1,000 at the wheel with 23 pounds of boost. But I'm having a dome sensor issue. So once that's rectified, I should be making around 1,100. I spoke with Precision and that's pretty much what they said. That turbo, it's about, depending on whose dyno and this and that, but it's rated 1475 at the crank. So through a power glide, this, that, drivetrain losses, all that stuff, I can see that turbo like maxing out around 1150 to the tire. And this turbo here should be good to max out around 1250, close to maybe 13 to the tire. So we got enough turbo to break the block. So we don't want to do that. We're gonna take it easy just to have fun, but it's still gonna be a nicely built combination. And this is by far the thickest sleeve production block. As you can see, all this is the sleeve. I sonic tested the block, and this block can easily go 100 over, meaning I can cut it to an LS1 bore at 3.898, and it will still have quite a bit of material left, but I'm only going 3.810, and I'm keeping the sleeves as thick as possible to be strong for what we're trying to do, boost. So if you ever wonder how to put a bigger valve cylinder head, and it's not because I wanted to do this, it's because I already have the cylinder heads. So I don't want to go buy other cylinder heads. That's why I'm doing it. If not, I would have just bought the Trick Flow 220, which has got the smaller intake valve, a smaller exhaust valve, and I wouldn't have to do all this. But because I already have the cylinder heads, I would like to use them, right? So that's pretty much it. And then this one here, I'm ready to go to the dyno with it. It's a 584 cubic inch, 15:1 compression, 800 lift cam. My hand ported Dart 325. Now they're more like closer to 350 runner right now, 340, 350. They're flow 410. Should do some good numbers, but this engine was built somewhere else. It blew up. Client came here. We're trying to repair it. There are some issues. The guy had done the receiver groove, the O-rings. He had put O-rings with copper gaskets, and he did the groove too close to the bore. That's a 4610 bore. And it's just not a good scenario the way it's been done. So I pulled the rings off, because as the rings are, picture the ring is round like this. I'll take my dial indicator and I'll check the protrusion, the height of the ring. Here, it was sticking out 20 thou, which is extremely high for a non-receiver groove cylinder head. And here was 10, here was 8, here was 7. So when the guy cut it, I don't know, his milling was not square. I don't know how he did it. It was not done correctly. So the only way to fix that is you gotta deck it away, and then you're cutting like 30 thousandths off the deck of the block. Then the piston, the rod, the crank, nothing is gonna work. So I tried putting a copper ring inside, but it's so close to the cylinder bore, it's starting to crack the cylinder on the top. So this is the reason I take all my engines to the dyno, but this one I'm a bit, we'll see if it works out. I put MLS gaskets directly on. It seems like the bead of the gasket, it's in the right spot and it's gonna work, but we're only gonna know for sure once it's on the dyno. If that doesn't work out, the whole thing has to come apart. We gotta deck the block, 35 thousandths, and then we have to figure out if we use another piston or if we get a little bit shorter rod or something. It's a big mess, because this is what happens when you start with things that they're being screwed up by other people. It's just a mess, you know what I mean? It's just a mess. Like an O-ring setup could work properly, but all the machining has to be done 100%, especially if you do receiver grooves, everything has to match. So my best advice I can give you guys for a combination like this, you do not need O-rings, you do not need copper, you need none of that stuff. I've had my big block made, I had a 632 in my car, fuel injection, was making 1140 NA. We did 1250 at the wheels, 1236 at the wheels with a cross plate, not even a fogger. The thing will go on 152 to the 8th at almost 3,000 pounds. And I was just running an MLS gasket. The motor was 14.5 compression and never had an issue, especially with the GM, with all these head bolts, you do not need a copper gasket. Now, if you're running twin 88s and that stuff, yeah, do it properly. Do the hoops on the heads and the receiver groove on the block. This old school O-ring bullshit there, excuse my language, it's about 30 years old technology. MLS works fine. You want to do it the right way, you got to do hoops in the head and receiver groove in the block. That's the next level. Like if you're not using an MLS, you go to the next level. So just a little update. I'm gonna post more videos when I'm building this. There's gonna be videos, dynos, chassis dynos, track. Try to do some decent videos there. And just another day over here. We're trying to make things as good as possible, but sometimes you're starting with a handicap. Like this engine over here. So it's easy to tell the customer, you know what, take your block, throw in the garbage, let's buy another block. I mean, that's one way to do it, but you know, we're trying to fix things. Not everybody wants to change blocks and this and that. I mean, like, we'll go to the dyno. If it works out, if with 15-to-1 compression, and it's gonna be near 1,000 horsepower naturally aspirated, this combo, if the heads are not sealing right, we're gonna find out very quick. You know what I mean? If he makes it through the dyno and the leak done is good and everything is good, everything is gonna be fine. So George from MGR Performance, that's a little video of my 5.3. Goal is 460s. If the car works properly, the engine's gonna have enough power. It's just up to the car. You know what I mean? It's up to the car. I mean, the car, I got all brand new shocks. It's still stock suspension. I don't have any adjustment up here. So that's another upgrade that should be done. There's adjustments. There's adjustments on the control arms, but I don't have adjustments on the top. And I'm gonna put drag radials this year. No more slicks. I got brand new Viking shocks that I bought 2 years ago, and I never got to put them on the car because I'm too busy and I don't have time to play with my car. But this year I'm coming out. I wanna have some fun, you know, but I can't push my car because I'm there with clients, I'm tuning their cars, I'm doing their valve lashes. Like when I show up to the track, if there's 12 cars racing, sometimes 6 of them are my clients. So like sometimes more than half of the people racing that class, they're my engines. So I'm there, you know, I tell them pull the valve covers off, I go to everybody, I give them a hand, lash their motors, check everything. I give them a hand with tuning the Holly. And so I don't have much time to put, like I used to 10 years ago. It was all about the car. I can't do that anymore. So if I have a decent tune-up, 25, 27 pounds of boost, the car goes 480, something like that, just to make some passes, to have fun, that's good enough for me, you know? I know what it takes to go fast, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I will not be using a stock block. This is the reason I sold my 632, because I had a beautiful engine making big power, and it was just sitting on the lift like the car is sitting right now, right? I just don't have the time anymore. Family, kids, business, a lot of clients. I'd rather see my clients do well than go over there and play with my car, to be honest. So, George from MGR Performance, hit a like. I'll be appreciated if you guys subscribe. I wanted to do 500 subscribers. I'm getting there. We're like 460 something. I mean, I had a YouTube channel before this thing, you know, blew up. And if you check some of my old videos, I have videos like 16 years ago, you know, when I was still a kid. You know what I mean? I'm 45 right now, and I was, you know, in my 20s, and I was running back then stock block 408, and I was running 8s with a cast crank, stock block, and a fogger, which was unheard of back then to run 8s. So I've been fast for a long time. George, MGR Performance, thanks for watching. Keep you an update next time. Right now here it's freezing cold. It's snowing outside. We're in Canada. And when spring comes, we're gonna hit the dyno and the track. I'll make some nice videos. I'll post a video of the dyno of this one. If it goes good or if it doesn't go good, we're still gonna post a video. Got nothing to hide over here. Thank you guys. Have a good day.